Hello, welcome to IB Universal. Today we will be covering two concepts. Number one, why Python is a good language to learn, and number two, what are the 8 commonly used words in Python language. So let's start with the first one, why Python compared to the other languages. Number one, Python usually requires a few lines of code compared to other languages. It is more simple, more readable. Number two, once you learn Python, you can apply it in data science, automation, web applications, and so many other platforms, so you can take different kinds of projects. And number three, it has a great open source community. You can go to Stack Overflow and other platforms and ask a question or answer other users' questions. So after reviewing 3 main reasons why Python is a great language to learn, let's go over 8 commonly used words for Python. Let's start with syntax. What is a syntax? Just like in English, we do need some rules for Python to be readable and to be able to run. So for that, we will be following a few rules in Python, just like in English. So what is an IDE? The IDE is Integrated Development Environment, where we can write our code, edit our code, debug our code, and it will be a nice visual tool for us. And we can also use features such as automatic debugging and linting. And linting is pointing out the potential errors before we actually run across them, just like a warning. So in this lecture series, I'm planning to use Spider, but I also encourage you to look at PyCharm and Visual Studio, as they are also very popular IDEs. So integer and float. Integer is a whole number, for example 10, whereas a float is a number with a decimal point, for example 10.34. What is a string? String is a set of characters, and we usually put them in double or single quotes. For example, world or English. What are statements? Statements usually does something such as print. What about expressions? And expressions usually returns a value. Functions. Functions are a set of codes we define, and they are callable from the other parts of the code. So we can write a function once and we can use it multiple times. What is an iteration? Iterations are used commonly in the loops, as we will see, and each time we enter a loop, we call it an iteration. What is parsing? Parsing, we will hear a lot in HTML parsing, for example. Parsing the values into its component parts, dividing the values into its component parts. So today we had a quick introduction to why Python has advantages compared to the other languages, why it's a great idea to learn Python, and then we discussed 8 commonly used words in Python language. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.